So lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell have filed an appeal to overturn her convictions. The disgraced socialite claiming she did not get a fair trial and mistakes were made by the government and the court.
Well, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison after a jury found her guilty of sex trafficking with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Joining us right now, Arthur Aidala, one of her lawyers. He's throwing money around.
Hey, well, you know,
obviously, he must be sitting on Money Mountain with...
You know, it's that big coffee truck outside. He gave me 50 cents change. Let me tell you something, Rosanna. This has been a really hard appeal to do because...
You're saying, what, fatal flaws in what took place?
So... if Jeffrey Epstein lived, if he didn't kill himself or was killed, however you want to, we'll leave that for another day.
Right.
I don't even know if Ghislaine Maxwell would have been charged with any crimes.
Well, they're saying that she was the co-conspirator, that she was grabbing the girls and bringing them back to Jeffrey.
So here's what happens. The U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, they spend millions of dollars going over after Jeffrey Epstein. He's the cover of every newspaper. At the time, I'm representing Harvey Weinstein. I said, Harvey, this guy's the best thing that ever happened to you. He knocked you off the cover, and now he's dead. And what are they going to do? What are they just going to walk away? Oh, he's dead, it's all over with? No. So now they take all of that ammunition and they go after this woman. And I will tell you, as Americans, no matter how you feel about what she did, the way she was treated, when she was cloaked, Rosanna,
you know, you're talking about young girls being picked up, and
if she was Charles Manson, she should not have been treated this way.
Okay, so what's the problem? How did you appeal to the Supreme Court?
Well, there's 5 different issues, and there's a lot of law involved. Number one, she was convicted of crimes that took place in the 90s. There's something called the statute of limitations. The reason why the statute of limitations are there is because you're supposed to be able to defend yourself. And how do you defend yourself about something that happened in 1994? Rosanna, do you have a diary from 1994 where you were?
I burned those diaries.
Okay, so the bottom line is the government shoehorned all these different laws into, they made these crimes fit into a law that said, oh, you can be prosecuted now. So the statute of limitations are horrible.
Okay.
Also, Jeffrey Epstein signed a non-prosecution agreement. So the government signed something with him saying, if you go to jail, Jeffrey Epstein, which he did, we won't prosecute your co-conspirators. They basically ripped that up and they prosecuted her anyway, which is similar to what happened to Bill Cosby. So he signed a non-prosecution agreement and then they prosecuted him.
These are technical things. Talk to us about some of the things that I feel like some people might, you know, bat their eyes at a bit. They're saying that the conditions for her behind bars were appalling.
Well, when you have a right to defend yourself in any trial, in other words, if you're mentally incompetent, you can't go to trial because you have a constitutional, God-given right from day one of the founding of this country to defend yourself. She was treated as a person who was innocent, right? She has the presumption of innocence, like worse than any animal we treat in this country. Every 15 minutes she was woken up to make sure she was okay. She was so hungry during her trial. They wanted to give her a granola bar, and they said, no, you can't have a granola bar.
Okay, but are comparing
she wanted
that
to testify.
She
couldn't even testify at her own trial.
I get that.
She was so exhausted.
But I'm saying people pay $3,700 a month to live in apartments here in New York that have vermin. They're sleep deprived because they have vermin. So it's kind of like
one is the government is. As Americans, we're supposed to be better than North Korea. We're supposed to be better than Turkey. When someone's accused of a crime, basically she's being treated so much better now that she's a convicted felon in prison than she was when she was preparing for her trial.
What is she, a yoga teacher in prison right now?
All I know is this, Rosanna. She spoke to us every day during the appeal. She knows her transcript inside and out. The fact that there was a juror who went on all television shows saying that he convinced the other jurors that she was guilty based on his own experience as being a sexual assault victim when he filled out the application in the beginning of the trial saying he was never a victim of sexual assault.
And what did the judge say to that? Because
the judge said he made an honest mistake, so he's on the jury. That's not cool. That's not America. That's not how we're supposed to be doing things here. Someone lies, a juror lies about something that the person's on trial for. It's not like he said, well, I was a victim of a robbery and now he was on the trial. He was a victim the same exact way those other women who testified against her. Let me make something clear. This is not about whether Ghislaine Maxwell is guilty or not guilty. This is about whether the judge conducted a fair trial or did not conduct a fair trial. And the underlying premise of this is this particular judge was being considered, was in front of the United States Senate during the trial to be considered to go to a higher court, which she now is in the higher court. The Democrats in the Senate wanted Ghislaine Maxwell convicted because of the female victims. The Republicans wanted her convicted because of law and order. So you have a judge who's in front of the United States Senate while the trial's going on. She wants to please them. She wants that conviction. She doesn't want to be Judge Ito from the O.J. Simpson case. You remember Judge Ito, right, Rosanna?
Of course I do.
You probably don't remember.
No, I do. My dad worked with multiple lawyers in that case. So,
okay,
yeah.
So there you go. So she, there was a lot of pressure all around.
So
and in America, we just want a great system of criminal justice.
Arthur, when do you expect you'll get some kind of response?
The government will give us a response within 2 months. We get about a month after that. We give a response, and then we'll find out when. I'm probably going to have to go in front of 3 judges in the big court here, the Circuit Court of Appeals, and argue. And Rosanna, that'll be somewhere around the same time. I'll be going in front of the New York State Court of Appeals to argue Harvey Weinstein's case.
Right, because you're appealing Harvey Weinstein's case.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very relaxing summer for me. I'll have nothing to do. I'll maybe catch up on some TV shows or something along those lines. But both Harvey and Ghislaine are doing the best they can under the circumstances they're in.
We were worried.
I know you were. Well, I know you know. Rosanna, you're very empathetic. You have a kind Brooklyn Italian heart. You worry about people.
You know what I meant by that, Arthur. Arthur Aidala, everybody. If you need somebody, check him out. Your offices are in Brooklyn and Manhattan, right?
That's it. Absolutely. Just like you.